today because we're not going to stand here and stare at the screen all day. Okay, so interior is going to look like this. Okay, interior is going to be somewhere here. There's going to be a dot somewhere on the inside in the Pac-Man mouth. Exterior is going to be somewhere here on the outside. On the angle is literally going to be somewhere on the line. Okay, so it's that simple. Okay, so if we look at number one, is it interior, exterior, or on the angle?
Interior.
Interior, so we're going to put an I. And this is why I said we're going to go fast today. Okay? Okay, 3, interior, exterior, on the angle?
E.
Exterior, okay? 5, interior. So we're just going to put an I. We don't even need to spell the word out, okay? 7 is interior. Okay, number 9 is going to be interior. And 11, exterior. Good. So far, so good? Okay, the next section on there, name the vertex and each angle. Okay, or each sides of the angle. Okay, so an angle is broken up into 2 pieces. Okay, so and the 2 pieces are so. Okay, you take, and I don't even know if we covered it yet, but so if you take a ray, which is, it looks like a segment, and then on one end there's an arrow, that's called a ray. Okay, you take one ray and you connect it with another ray, it makes an angle. Okay, so this would be one side and this would be another side. Now, the way that we label them, so when we did a line, right, how could we call a line? If this is AB, how do you say that? AB or BA, right? We could say AB or BA. When we're dealing with a ray, if it's like this, and it's A and then B, you start at the dot, and then you have to use the last point that it goes through. So this would be ray AB, okay? If we have like this, A, B, and C. This could be ray, you could use this for a starting point, A. The last point that it goes through is C. Or you could start at B, and the last point that it goes through is C. Okay, take a second and really think about what I'm saying. Okay, look at the picture. Okay, we cannot go backwards. Okay, and you cannot start at C because you need 2 points. Okay, so when we do a ray, again, if I would change this to X, Y, Z, okay, wherever, you can pick the starting point, but your finishing point has to be the last point that it goes through. So I cannot do A, B, because it still runs through C. Yes, sir?
So then for like 13, would it be like EC? Because they're like 2 arrows? Or
So, and that's what we're going to talk about, okay? So, if we're looking at the picture, first of all, the vertex is the easiest to point out. So the vertex is always going to be the middle point where the 2 rays meet. So this is a vertex, okay? Right here, this is a vertex. So if we're looking at 13, what's the vertex?
D.
D. D is definitely the vertex, okay? So the vertex is D. I said D and I even wrote V. I don't know what is going on. Okay, so are we all in agreement? D is the vertex?
Yeah.
Okay. The 2 rays is going to be from the vertex through to the arrow. Okay, so there are 2 of them. So the very first one is going to be this one. So DE. DE is going to be that one. And you have to label it like this. Okay, what's the other one going to be? No. DC. Okay? So we always have to use the thing that's closest to the arrow, right? The arrowhead goes above here. So we can kind of see that it matches up with the C is close to the arrow, the C is close to the arrowhead. Does that make sense? Okay. And that's all we're doing for this one. Okay? You got to write all 3 of those on this one. Okay? So let's look at 15. What's the vertex?
Okay.
K is the vertex. Okay, and then what's one side? KL, I agree, KL. And KJ is going to be the other side, KJ. Okay, 17, what's the vertex?
D.
D, I agree. What is one side?
BC.
DC. Okay, and make sure you're doing a little ray above it, okay? You have to have that. And then what about the other side? DE. Okay, 19, what is the vertex? M. Okay, and then the two rays, what's one of them? MN, good. ML. Okay, 21, what's the vertex? R, I agree. And the two rays? RS, RQ, I agree. Okay, and again, you have to have the lines above your rays. They have to, okay? I'm so sorry, I know it probably seems silly, okay, but you have to have the arrows above them, okay? 23, what's the vertex? B. Then the two rays. BC, BA. And we got one more section. Okay, the last section says name each angle in 4 ways. Okay, so there are always, I don't want to say always.
One more?
There's always at least one way to make an angle. Sometimes, we'll kind of see, sometimes there's more ways than one. And in this case, there are 4. Okay, so in order to name an angle, you always have to use this sign. It's like a little alligator mouth next to it. Okay, it's a small one. Okay, and they should look somewhat ill proportioned, right? So my little alligator mouth should be small and the other thing should be big. Okay, so you can name the angle by just the vertex. So if we're looking at this picture, what's the vertex? J, okay, for sure. So notice how the angle sign is a lot smaller than my J. Okay, that's how it should look, okay? That's one way, okay? There's always going to be a vertex. And so that's the one way that's always guaranteed. There's always going to be a vertex. Sometimes there's also a number. And in this case, what's that number? 1. So we can name this angle 1. And then lastly, the last 2 ways, and this only works sometimes if there's dots, but you have to start at one end of the alligator mouth and work your way over. So we could name it IJK, IJK, or we could go the other way and start at K. So KJI, KJI. Okay, the one thing I want you to keep in mind, you cannot go in any other order. Okay, the J has to be in the middle. Okay, because, and you'll see eventually, but I could give you 3 points, IJK, and you would be able to look at that and know that J is the vertex without even the picture, because the middle pieces always has to be the vertex. Okay, so the J has to go in the middle. Okay, that's not optional. So those are the 4 ways. Okay, yes, you do need a little alligator mouth for every single one. Okay. So if we're looking at 27, we can say the vertex, what is it? G is one way. What's another way? 3 is another way. HGF is another way. And the last way? FGH. Okay, so not always are you gonna have the F and the H or the 3. You will always have the G. Does that make sense? So there will always be one way. At most, I don't wanna say at most, usually no more than 4, okay? 29, what's one way? I, another way. Wait, I said I, but I meant 1. I don't know what's the matter. 1, what's another one?
R.
R, good job. And one more, 2 more.
SRQ.
Q, R, S, and yes, Turtlehead, S, R, Q. Good job. See, look how good you're doing in the front row. Like, you're giving front row vibes. I'm loving it. Okay, 31. What's one way, Mark Whalen?
Q.
Good job. Make sure you're awake. Not scheduling a haircut or nothing. Ben, what's another way?
2.
2, good job. And then somebody, last 2 ways. What's another way? RQP, good.
PQR.
RQP and PQR, I agree. Okay, 33. What's one way? GHI. I agree. What's another way?
4.
4, I agree. H, I agree. IHG, good. And last one, 35. I. 5. HIJ. JIH. Hey, I promise you, go back through your sheet and check. You have to have this. If you do not have it, I'm marking it off. On the other parts, you have to have the thing above the ray. If you don't have it, I'm marking it off. My work's not that hard, right? Can we all agree on that? Even though Vinny said, oh, that means it's gonna be awful, right?
But
So,
usually